Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jay Banks. Tuesday. I'm feeling good today, man. How you feeling, AI?
I'm feeling
Busy.
I'm feeling
You
very
got a lot going on. You came into work today exhausted. Yeah, you already looked defeated by the time you got here, bro.
The world will keep spinning and I'll keep pushing. It's a busy time, and it's so cold outside. Being out in that in the elements is rough out there, but my car is going through it, and that's part of the process. But I'm feeling good though. I'm really liking where our heads are at. Our momentum is going, and what we're doing. We just announced the Betty and the comic and all those cool things. You'll hear about that at some point. But just exciting things that we're doing with the brand, and beyond that, beyond the stage is moving quickly. All these things are moving. I just have to go through some turbulence. Keep it humble. You know what I mean?
Oh,
yeah, it's like it's a yin and a yang kind of thing.
I hear you, bro. Yeah, those book bags are fire, bro.
Yeah.
Like we've Kid Vision got to see one of the book bags earlier. That was the one that I've had for probably like 5 or 6 years, man. And I was carrying 2 laptops in it at the same time, so it definitely can hold weight. But after a while, I had to retire it, put it on the wall, and every day people were asking about it. So I was like, you know what, dude? Let's just go ahead and run some of these, see how it does. Most of the time when we were going to pull the trigger, it was like 3-month turnaround, and it's like we were trying to get them ready for school, and it was like, damn, bro, all right, school's going to be back by the time I get them. So we went ahead and played it early this year to get it done in January. But you know what I saw? I saw somebody post, they were like, man, is 2026 full of melatonin? He's like, I'm so fucking tired. He's like, I'm walking around yawning all day, and I look around, and everybody on the street's yawning. He's like, is 2026 just full of melatonin? Like, everybody's already exhausted, bro.
I feel like it's gone really fast. Already.
Fast.
Like it's only 20 days, but I feel like 2025 had like some slow moments where it was like crawling, but then 2026 is just like, it's just a blink of an eye. We're looking at February right now. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And that's because like it's almost like we expect things to happen in society, and as things kind of change our direction of attention, that's when you go fast, because everyone's all worried about the problems in the world. Meanwhile, right in front of us is presently like the talent that we're trying to put our attention on. Meanwhile, the world's doing all this stuff, so it makes things fly.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're just trying to focus on your thing, but everything else is making things go fast.
Yeah.
And it's just it's a confusing time, but at the same time, we're moving forward.
Right.
Yeah.
So check this out, man.
Yep.
Somebody told me. Actually, no one told me. I saw it on IG. But so when you get older, it's like, man, like this year flew by, right? And they say the reason why the year flies by when you're older compared to when you're young is because all the memories you make when you were young. Like you're not filling your 9 to 5, your day to day with going to work, coming home, going to sleep, wake up, go to work, come home, go to sleep. So when you're younger, you've got all this extra time to create memories. And when you create memories, that's when that was like, oh, dude, 1991 was the year. You know what I mean? Or 1999 was the year. But it was like, it's built with how many memories you can make in that year. So if this year flew by for you, you got to stop and make more memories, man. You know what I mean?
That's it. I totally agree. And it's all about making memories and experiences. Speaking of this experience, it's a pleasure to have you on the podcast, guys. I want to shift the attention onto a big fight we have this Saturday, January 24th.
At MEGA CORP, right here in Newport, bro.
MEGA CORP, right in Newport, Kentucky. Newport, Kentucky's getting all the stuff these days. Right?
Yeah, it's super fire.
Right as they close that bridge down.
So without any further ado, we've got Anthony AJ VENOM Ralston, man. What's going on, player? How you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling pretty good. How about you?
Doing good, man. So you've got a big fight coming up this Saturday at MEGA CORP, which is one of the reasons why I love MEGA CORP is because they don't have the Rolodex like Live Nation does. So when when you're booking artists, the MEGA CORP is always thinking outside the box, man. They're always bringing in up and coming talent, people that that haven't tapped into the Live Nation thing. But being able to bring in like live fights and stuff like that, like the way the venue's set up is incredible. It's the stage can be either outside or inside, just depending on the weather for it. But something like that, obviously, like to me, like seeing a fight at MEGA CORP, because it's it's kind of like a silo, right? Like you got the stage and then you got tiers, and like to me, like that seems like that'd be some pit fighter shit, bro. Like some shit you see in the 90s where like everybody's hanging over the rails all fucking screaming and you know what I mean?
Celebrity death matching it.
Yeah, bro.
Fight Club.
Is this going to be the biggest fight that you've had so far? Or at least the biggest fight when in front of a crowd this big?
I would say the next fight is always the biggest one.
Yeah,
You know
okay.
what I mean? Every time you get your next fight, it's the biggest one. 'Cause you
Yeah.
don't want to come out with a loss. So
Right, for
yeah,
sure.
definitely. It's always the next fight's the biggest one, no matter what it is. No matter where the crowd is, it's always the next fight's the biggest one.
Absolutely, man. So what's your record right now?
3-1.
3-1. All right. So 4 fights. What is that? Probably like a year and a half, 2 years.
No, so actually, my first 3 fights was 13 years ago.
Okay.
And then I just took a long layoff because I don't know. I wasn't training a lot back then. I really just got into it. I was like, I feel like I can just do it without training.
Right,
I
for sure.
wrestled my whole life, so I just was like, I'll put my wrestling against anybody. And after my first 3 fights, I was like, yeah, I'm getting like bad headaches and everything
Oh,
because
shit.
I'm just not in good shape. So I just stopped, and then I got a bunch of friends now who I just see doing it, and I was like, I coach wrestling now, and I'm in a lot better shape than I was back then. I was like, why not? Let's just get back into it. So my first fight back into it, we was just at this BCM promotion. Like, it was like 3 hours away, and I'm 34 now. I fought this 19-year-old and TKO'd him in the second round.
Let's go, bro.
And just ready. I was definitely more ready in this fight than I was my other 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then in my first 3, the one I lost, it was really because I just wasn't in good shape. Like, I won the first 2 rounds. Dude got me in the last round. But, like, I still should have won it. But it is what it is. You can't let the refs decide. If you let the refs decide, then it's out of your hands. So, and then back then I took that loss a little to heart. I probably acted like I shouldn't have. I'm a lot older now, so I don't act like that. You know, it's like if you lose, you lose. If you win, you win.
Bro, it's hard to take an L on the chin. You know what I mean? Because especially when you're fighting for it, because at the end of the day, you're like, man, there's no one else to blame but me. I could have done this different. I should have done this different. You know, but those L's, you know, you got to take them as learning experiences, not losses, bro. You know what I mean? And that's you just got to get back on that horse. You already know, bro. You know, you got a big fight on Saturday. I don't need to gas you up. You know what I mean?
Right. I'm a lot more serious about it now. I just got 3 kids now, so I'm just trying to make some money. That's all it's about. Just making a little bit of money off of it.
I mean, it seems like this is a great stage to get your name out there too, man. You know, MEGA CORP brings them out, and you know they do have a good fan base that comes out to see these events. And like I said, with them doing stuff outside the box, where it's not just music and it's not just Live Nation's Rolodex, where you know you already know the people coming in. Like they're able to get real creative over there, and you know they're going to be able to bring the musician fans in along with the MMA fans. You know what I mean? The EDM, they do EDM parties there too. Like they're on top of their shit, bro. I'm really glad that they're in our backyard.
I just seen T-Pain there over the summer.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, we went to see T-Pain. That's why I was telling him. I was like, bro, that MEGA Corp's a dope venue for sure.
It is, man. It is. I missed the T-Pain concert. I don't know if it was the same day as the that retro concert that was down at the Florence Y'all Stadium. It was like Twista, PD Pablo, fucking. There was all kind of people down there, bro. That was insane.
Yeah.
But being out there,
Tequila Fest.
the Tequila Fest, yeah, bro. People were passing out left and right because of that AstroTurf, man.
It was so hot outside.
So hot, and that AstroTurf is just rubber underneath you. So, you know, you don't realize that shit, bro. Like, you know, coming to play football, and you know, like that Miami Dolphin Stadium.
Yeah.
You see that shit they do, bro? Like the way they built the Miami Dolphin Stadium. They put it at an angle where the sunlight only falls on the opposing side. and it's like a 30-degree difference, bro. It's like 110 over there when it's only 80 on the Miami Dolphin side.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
I mean,
huge difference.
So they always make sure they're on the right side.
That's crazy, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, I mean, with sports, it's all about the competitive advantage. I mean, think about Denver. They're playing in altitudes where most players only get to play like once a year, if they even play the Broncos.
Right.
You know, in Denver,
And
like,
they're on the sidelines with
like
the fucking
they're struggling,
with
yeah.
the air.
And the Broncos are practicing that on the daily. So like, there's advantages in certain things, but the Dolphins, they have that advantage and they're still bad.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. So it's just I could talk football, but I kind of want to talk with you, AJ. So I was on the wrestling team as well. I went to Rio in high school.
Oh, I know
and
that is.
Yeah, wrestled there. I'm 37, so I'm just a few years. But what do you think? Because are you mostly grappling when you're going into fights? I mean, is that your style? Or do you like? Because I mean, wrestling. I mean, automatically going to the ground is your advantage. But
So, my first 3 fights, I was more on just like, let's get a hold of them, get them down fast. But that was also gassing me out really quick. So now it's more like, whatever your weakness is what I'll do. If I need to stand because you want to wrestle, I'll stand. If you want to stand, then I'll wrestle you. You know what I mean? I just want to go towards the weakness of whoever I'm
that's
fighting. But it don't, like, I can stand up, I can be on the ground. It don't matter to me. You know what I mean? But
wrestlers are tough, bro.
if a dude's a stand-up fighter, why would I stand up with it? You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Because especially if you don't got a lot of experience in wrestling, then I'm like, my goal is just pressure the whole time. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But then if you wrestle, then I'm confident enough to where you ain't gonna take me down. So we're just gonna stand up because I know that you really don't want to be on your feet. You want to try to get me to the ground. Just like in my last fight, the dude literally shot on me in 7 seconds, and I was like, okay, so I know you don't want to stand up. If you're literally shooting right
Yeah, if
off
you're
the
shooting-
rip,
yeah, you're
that
trying to get
means
to the
you
ground.
don't want no part of the stand up. You're trying to get me to the ground, and then when that failed for him, you could just tell everything was just going downhill the whole time. Because he tried to take me down like 5 times, and I stopped every one of them. So
Everyone's got a plan. You get punched in the face, right?
that's a fact. That's what I
Yeah.
always say. You got to plan until you get punched.
Right.
But I've also been punched too, so if I got to walk through a couple punches to get to my goal, that's all right. But I feel like the guy I just fought, he ain't never been punched before. And that's an issue. If you ain't never been punched, you definitely want to stay away from it. And you could tell he was trying to stay away from it.
Yeah.
Not that well, but
I mean, it seems like you got a hell of a reach, man. Like I don't know, how tall are you? Probably 6'1".
nah, I'm only 5'11".
5'11". All right, that wingspan, bro. It seems like you got a lot of meat on them bones to be able to knock somebody out for sure.
Oh,
He's
a little
quick for a
bit.
big guy too. He's quick, definitely quick.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm definitely a lot faster than what people think. That's why I like to use wrestling. And then this fight's at heavyweight, so I'm over here like, man, I don't got to cut no weight. I can just be exactly what I am right now, go into the fight feeling great. I feel like that's gonna help too. Because the last fight I had to cut down to 205, and I was at like 228.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I was still overweight by a pound when we got there, and I had to literally like do all kinds of exercises in the bathroom for 30 minutes just to drop that pound.
Take your shit.
No, I couldn't use the restroom.
Oh.
That's the one thing I couldn't do, bro. I would have made it easy. I had to literally go like in the bathroom and do sit-ups 6 inches off the ground like for like 30 minutes to drop that pound. of
Yeah,
weight.
dude, I can attest. I cut weight in high school. My whole career, like I didn't eat Thanksgiving from sophomore through senior. Thanksgiving was out of question. Grilled chicken and celery and peanut butter was pretty much my diet.
Missing Thanksgiving dinner is crazy.
3 years in a row, bro.
It's crazy.
That's
Andrew.
on the record.
The only time I had to do that was my senior year because
What'd you wrestle?
I wrestled 215, but my junior year I wrestled heavyweight because we just had a 215 he was just a dog.
Dylan
I'm just
LaVille,
gonna be
appreciate you,
real,
bro.
you know what I
Plush
mean?
guard
So,
in the building.
my coach was like, you can wrestle him off or you can just wrestle heavyweight. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to wrestle heavyweight. And then I ended up going like 41 and like 12 that year at heavyweight, and I only weighed like 213.
Oh,
It ended up working.
Yeah.
But so my senior year, I wanted to stay at heavyweight. Like, why not? So I went all the way up to like 265 over the summer.
Oh shit.
Came back in the room. My coach was like, "You know that you wasn't supposed to do that," and I had to go right back down to 215 in 2 weeks and take my hydration test and make it.
Yeah, you're not allowed to jump high or low.
Well, no. They wanted me to stay at 215 because we had so much success at 215 in heavyweight. Like me and my partner was like in every.
Well,
finals.
the BMI they also don't let you. So like I was cutting low weight, and so I was wrestling 103 freshman year. Didn't have to worry about that. I weighed 100 pounds. Sophomore year, I was at 112, 115, 118, and I cut to 103. And they're like, you can only go to 102.5. So you better not get any. If you hit 125, Andrew, then you can only go to 104. And guess what? You can't wrestle at 103. So it was like the rules. They weren't allowing me to do all that stuff. But I would run. I would run a lot, and like I would spit. Like it was just I would never condone losing weight. But at the same time, like there's a lot. And high school wrestling has a lot of pressure in there built into it. I'm sure you felt it over the time. But
so my thing was I had 2 weeks before we had to take that test. So that's why I got all the way down so I could take that test, and I'm legally allowed to get there. Like nobody knew I did that.
I see. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was like, why'd you come back in that heavy? We told you to stay at 215. I came back in at 265. They was like, dude, you have 2 weeks to get back down to 215 before we got to take the hydration test. What you're talking about, the BMI test?
Yeah.
And I got all the way back down to 215.0 in that 2 weeks and still passed the hydration test.
Touche.
But I will say that
That's work, bro.
That affected the first half of my season, though. I definitely lost hella matches. I
Drained.
Never lost if that wouldn't have happened. But like it was my fault. But my thing was I was ranked like 12th in the state at heavyweight, and I truly feel like I'd have been the first Hamilton High State champ at heavyweight. Just because when I got up to 265, I was like untouchable. Like, my coaches couldn't even mess with me then. I just felt great. I was fat. I ain't gonna lie. I just got fat, and I just felt great. And it was just my balance was already there, like hips and balance. Like my thing is defense. So I was already a defensive wrestler. My balance is really good. Hips are really good. Got up to 265 and just had a lot of fat to throw on people on top of the fact that my balance is really good.
Oh,
and then they made me go back to 215, and I definitely lost about 12 matches I probably should have lost. Just got into like the second period. I was looking at my coach like, oh, I ain't got nothing left.
Juiced, yeah, definitely. I mean, I had my own situations where I was one day I literally came into school way overweight. I won't say the weight because I'm not trying to give details, but I had to run like a lot before we got on the bus to go weigh in at another school, and I didn't think I was gonna make weight because like if you don't make weight, Eisler, you're doing tires and all this stuff, whatever. And I sweated so much that every piece of my clothing had to come off me and stand butt ass naked on that scale, and I was 0.2 under 112. I was 112 at this point. This was my junior year, 112, and then senior was 119. So I'm way lower weight, but like if you're not fully energized at those low weights, those little dudes will run on your ass. Like you have to be fully energized for the low weights because those guys are just going. So I had to have energy, and I'm cutting this weight. But dude, I pinned him in like 30 seconds. So I got through the match easy because he wasn't as challenged. But I'm glad it wasn't a tough guy because like you cutting that much weight on that short a time period drains you. It takes everything out of your body, and your whole goal is to take somebody down. And I did a lot of sweeps, inside trips, and I did like a hook. I mean, I was kind of heavy for it because I was cutting weight, so I'd be bigger than some of the guys, so I would take advantage of that. I'd lose only lose by 4 times a year because I was doing all right, but wrestling wasn't my passion. Music, so I would wait to get off wrestling practice to go to band practice. To be honest with you, so my head wasn't there. So,
when it comes to the lighter weights and the heavier weights, because my buddies used to be like, man, you're lucky you don't wrestle like littler guys. That never bothered me because, like we was just saying, like I'm a lot faster.
Mm-hmm,
so
speed's everything there. Yeah.
I probably can move like just as fast as like 130 pounders for real. Like I'm not even gonna lie, but
That's, yeah.
when it comes to the lighter weights and the heavyweights, it's like, do you want to have to deal with like all that speed and strength, or you can wrestle the heavier guys and all of them ain't necessarily as fast as everybody else can be, but most of them are really strong and they all look like brutes. You know what I mean? So it's like, do you want to deal with the guys that got all the muscle, or you want to deal with like the smaller guys where you guys are pretty much all the same strength but lightning fast?
Yeah.
It's one,
The ones that are strong stick out, but a lot of times those muscle guys. My favorite guys to wrestle are always long and lanky. If we're in the same weight class and you're tall and lanky, and I'm smaller, I would love, because I can get a single leg so quickly on that, and I love the single leg, to be honest with you.
So my thing is, I used to love wrestling the guys that was muscle and all that, because like I never really was like that. I wasn't really like muscle, you know what I mean? I was more of just like technique, defense, and finesse, you know what I mean? So I knew these guys that had all this muscle only really had about a period and a half in them, because all that you got to train all that muscle too for the stamina. So when you got all that muscle, you got to train yourself, and you got to train all that muscle to survive. So most of the time I wrestle guys that had all that muscle, I'm like, they probably give me about a period and a half of everything they got, and then they ain't gonna have nothing left, and then it's gonna be mine. And then my thing was, I was so used to wrestling 7 periods. My junior year, I always was going overtime, sudden death, like because just dealing with them 285 pounders was a little hard. So we was always going deep into the overtime. So anytime I got in these matches with these muscular guys, I was like, well, I'm ready to go 7 periods. I know you guys are probably only ready to go a period and a half, and if you can't get me in that period and a half, I know it's not going to be good for you.
It's hard wearing all that muscle, man. You see it in the MMA too, in the UFC fights, when it's the bigger the dudes are. Yeah, they've got a lot of power, bro. But by the fucking second, third quarter, like they might as well be wearing shoulder pads, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, and you see it with everybody, even who was Kimbo Slice, bro. Like somebody with him with big ass traps and big ass shoulders. You know what I mean. You see him out fucking doing those backyard brawls, and he's just fucking dominating, dude. And then once you get into the MMA, it's a different tactic, man. You know what I mean?
Didn't have no wrestling background.
No,
it's different when you go into a fight, and if you're only swinging, it's not gonna be good for you.
For sure, for sure. I mean, that's
waiting. We're waiting for the perfect shot. You throw, dip, get a hold of you. That's it. That's all they got to do is get a hold of a boxer. Once you get a hold of a boxer, it's your world. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, manhandle him, put him where you want. Yeah, bro, for sure.
Did you ever throw? Before we get to the next topic, did you ever do any hip throwing, anything like that?
Yeah,
I know it's a larger weight. Like I love to throw.
No, I do.
Yeah.
So I do throw. Like it's funny you just asked me that, because like I would never teach my kids that.
Oh,
They always ask me like, Coach, you gonna teach us how to throw? I say no, because you'll get yourself in so many bad positions.
You got to know what you're doing.
I tell them, stay away from that. I tell them, maybe I'll show you a lateral one day, but outside of that, no head and arms. Because all the kids keep trying to do head and arms. I'm like, man, it's
You put me in a banana splits one time. Bro, it never happened again, I promise you that. I was also a lot smaller, too. I weighed like 115, so I wouldn't let him do that again. That was painful.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah,
Well,
Kid always used to be play fighting with us back in the day. Me, him, and then rest in peace to our buddy Trevor.
Oh, Trevor, okay.
Yeah, I would say he used to be with us. They always used to try to jump me.
Try to 3-on-1.
Because I feel like I've always been this big. He ain't always been that big. He used to be like, man, I feel like he used to be like 106. Like little and him.
Small.
Yeah, really small. So him and Trevor always trying to jump.
He grown up now.
Yeah, facts. That's what I try to tell him.
So I was just going to ask that, man. So Kid Visions, you guys have been friends for a long time?
Yeah, since we was kids. Yeah, it's like my best friend right here. So.
Let's go. All right. So you has he just always been scrappy, always fighting his whole life? And he's like, let's make some money on this?
Yeah. So we always, like me and him, we used to always go to the MMA gyms and everything like that. I'd go in there and watch him. He always was into wrestling, stuff like that. So But yeah, we've been like that since we was little kids, and we're so competitive too with everything we do. I mean, we play football, basketball, wrestling, everything like that. We're just always competitive. So yeah, it's been like that since we were younger. I mean, we get to where we're ready to fist fight for sure.
That's funny, bro.
Yeah, it's good.
All right, man. So and kid, bro. So what do you got going on, man? What's your vision for 2026? Because I know you got you got your hands in a lot of irons in the fire. Is that what they say?
Yes, sir. So one of the big things right now that I'm working with, which I haven't announced to anybody yet, but I just got in with Hamilton High School basketball football team. So
Let's go, bro.
Be, creating cartoons for them in the next upcoming years. So that'll be pretty cool. I think I'm gonna start that this week. Got a couple other projects going on with different people, different cartoon series that we're doing. And, I'm gonna do like got a little tour show coming up, and then I'll be back going to Indiana with another band, or with a band from Indiana. Gonna go out there and do some videography for them called A Way Out. A pretty slick band. I think they do like alternative music, alternative rock. They're pretty cool. So
all right,
go out there, check them out, and I'm just getting into all kinds of different stuff, man.
2026, bro. It's the year of the artist, man. That's why I keep telling everybody. It's like, and especially on this end, because, we've been here like 6 years now, right? And I feel like I've gotten away from being creative. Like the store's dope, and like we've added a bunch of art and things to make the store interactive. But like the past 12 months, bro, like we've been stepping over dollars to pick up quarters, stressing over little things that we don't need to be stressing over. Like if we get back to being an artist and get back to having fun, like it's all gonna fold our way. But we got to get back to having fun. You know what I mean? And we're at that point right now where it's like we were stressed out over this and over that, and on the bridge collapse, and now we got the Covington Newport Bridge. But at the end of the day, bro, it's just like, look, man, life's gonna throw you curveballs every single day.
Yes, sir.
You got to learn how to take them on the chin, and keep having fun, bro. Because like I've always said, like I'm that punching bag, man. I'm that clown. You punch him in his face, and I come right back smiling for another one. You know what I mean? And but now 2026, it's like I'm tired of being that fucking punching clown, bro. Sure. So now, man, I'm at the point where let's put out dope shit.
Yeah.
And let's instead of just T-shirts, let's throw art against the wall and see what sticks. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, Andrew's an artist, I'm an artist, Yam's an artist, Tyrell's an artist. So we've got all these different levels where if we get back to having fun, we're gonna be able to be creative. And then once we're creative, like people are gonna notice. You know what I mean? Sure. So it's like 2026, bro. It's like it's get back to having fun. You know what I mean? Stop stressing over the little things. Get back to the reason why you started it in the first place.
So that's been my whole motive for the last couple weeks for coming in 2026. I told my girl at home, I was like, I'm not stressing over nothing. I told her my car the first day of January, and I didn't stress 1 minute about it. I've just been at home just creating every day, and that's how I felt. I think like I started doing this creating stuff, and then I kind of like gassed myself out because I was creating so much. So like every day I was just in my phone, just creating stuff. And then I started gassing myself out a little bit to where it was like, it started giving me a headache.
Yeah.
And then once I started to take a break from it, I was like, I got to go back to creating. So I've been putting together a little series here and there, and it seems like every time that I do put together a series, like a couple weeks ago I ended up on Kiss 107 FM. Then I ended up on a Nightcap show. We ended up on a Nightcap show a couple weeks ago.
That's incredible, bro.
Yeah, with Ocho and Shannon Sharp. And then just earlier this morning, I was talking with Andrew. I ended up, my work got posted by David Montgomery, running back for the Detroit Lions. So it was just, I found myself every day, I start creating this stuff, and then I post it, and then I get a small win, and I get another small win. And then when you start to see those add up, then it's just like, we can accomplish anything, pretty much. So I've just been working on that and trying to get my work to the right people. And I've been networking like crazy. I'm constantly all day sending messages to content creators and people from Cincinnati, anywhere else, and just, hey, this is what I do, this is what I create, and just trying to get my name out there and get my work out there, because I feel like a lot of people enjoy it.
I mean, it's happening, bro. It's like, and whatever you're doing, it's working, because it's starting to pop up on the feed more. You know, you're staying hungry, and you found your lane, right? So like now, you know, you're the only one that's doing cartoon style images for artists, right?
Yes, sir.
And that's huge, bro. You know, finding a lane that no one else has tapped and being like, this is what I want to do. You know, I keep thinking to myself, bro, it's like, man, I would really love to be able to buy one of those printers that prints the actual cards themselves. Have you seen them?
Yeah.
So like I found one for like $1,200, and I'm thinking to myself, bro, if we were able to print holographic blink cards and sell them for $5 each, like how quick until the machine's paid off. You know what I mean? Being able to do limited edition cards and stuff like that.
It's funny that you said that. Somebody wrote me today and was like, do your football, your athletes or whatever, and print them on cards and do it like the Downtown series.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's actually a really dope idea. So it's definitely something that we might revisit. So I definitely like your thinking on that.
Yeah, bro. I mean, you know, whenever you can do something digital and make it tangible, you know what I mean? There's always value in that. Even when it comes with the NFTs, like the NFTs are hard to get a grasp on, because you don't know the value in it until you see somebody like Gary Vee that comes in and says, look, these NFTs are going to give you access to all this other shit down the road. You know, business is wild, bro. You know what I mean? Like it's only valuable if you can think outside the box, because a lot of people, the NFT thing, fucking just, I mean, shit, people are paying $60 million for a fucking NFT that's now worth a fucking $180.
Yep.
If that, it's worth what someone will pay for it.
Right. But you know, when it comes to NFTs, like, bro, I feel like the value lands in driver's license, fucking the deed to your house. Like, bro, do you know where your deed to your house is? You probably do.
I actually do.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
so,
my house is new enough where I just kept it all on that. As long as I have that Commonwealth of Kentucky folder, which doesn't even own my house anymore. It's a new company bought it.
Yeah.
But I have that original folder. As long as I got that,
yeah,
everything's in there.
But if that was, if,
I'm good. All my house information goes in that thing.
I definitely don't know none of that.
if that was an NFT, bro, like I could see that being a lot more profitable, or you know, like the NFT that comes with the house.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have to be a recent thing. Like, I got my house in 2019. NFTs weren't even being a conversation in 2019. We weren't talking that. So, but that's the thing, is the NFTs can open up like tickets. Like, if you were to get an NFT as your ticket to get into a sporting event, like this fight that we have that we're talking about. If they used the NFT to get into the stadium and there's some value there, and then that NFT connects to like what those fighters, all the fighters on the card, what they're doing going forward in relevance to, you know, like there's ways they could use utility in NFTs if done properly.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? But I feel like the attention has been taken away from NFTs and it's all been put onto AI now. So that attention and that energy is no longer being put there.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
and we have, in a society, we make a determination if it's worth our time or not.
Yeah, we chalked that off real quick.
Real quick, man.
As soon as somebody was like, "I've got land in Miami for sale on fucking on NFTs or whatever." What was that? Did you see that where people were like trying to sell property, but it was digital property in Miami?
Oh right, yeah.
Got out of control, bro. It got out of
But it's not
control
even
real quick. No, what is it, like Roblox? You know what I mean? Like
literally,
that's yeah.
where we're at. But where we're at with AI, everyone's like, so like our attention's going to be there. But at the same time, I don't think NFTs are dead if they just can find proper utility. I think the way Gary Vee handles them, I think it's great, because the people who have his NFTs get first dibs on all the drops. So Gary has taken that and pivoted and make it work in his favor. But he puts utility to it. Owning a Justin Bieber NFT, just because you own a Justin Bieber NFT, where is utility? All those celebrities lost tons of money.
Oh, for sure.
On their NFTs. So we're seeing the outcome of that now. But I don't know. Things will come back around. History will always repeat itself.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
All right, AJ. So after Saturday, bro, what's next for you? Because you've already got it in your head, and I've already got it in my head that you're going to win this fight, right? So what's the next step? Are you trying to, like, when it comes to MMA, do you just fight in any circuit, or are you fighting to try to get into the UFC or something of?
All right, so being realistic, if I ever got an opportunity like that, of course I would take it.
For sure.
So my real goal is just to make it pro, and if I could just make some extra money off of it, just to make some extra money off of it.
Mhm.
But if I was ever to get like a call, like you want to go to like that UFC show they'd be doing, where they have them all stay in the house or anything, or if I was ever to get a call like, hey, you want to fight in the first fight in the UFC or something like that, like I definitely wouldn't turn it down. There's
For sure.
no way, you know what I mean? But I'm really just trying to make some extra money off of it.
Oh yeah.
After this fight on Saturday, I'll probably let the wrestling season finish out before I take my next fight. Because I feel like I took this one a little quick, but
Yeah.
like I said, I don't really got to cut no weight. So it's not like I'm already in decent shape because of the last one. Because the last one wasn't even that long ago. So, and then I've still been in the wrestling season, but I'll probably take my next fight after this one. After the wrestling season's over, which is only like 5 more weeks. So probably try to schedule it 2 or 3 months out. So I want to be in the best shape I can be for the next one.
For sure.
That's a fact. And then if I can go pro after I get my 7 fights in, I'll go pro, and I won't take my first pro fight until I've trained into like a real gym for like 4 or 5 months.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen like the UFC Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? So it's a newer league where it's not hand-to-hand combat. It's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and they're in they're in a bowl.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, so we interviewed Robbie Maloff, who just got signed to the UFC Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He ended up breaking his finger like in the first 2 minutes of the match. But I mean, somebody like you, I kind of feel like you like the punishment of grabbing somebody and just fucking beating their face in, which isn't something that you do with the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You know what I mean? It's all more wrestling and combat than fighting. But that's a new league, though. You know what I mean? That's something where you might be able to tap into it and make some serious cheddar, bro.
I'd be interested in that more for just learning like more submissions, how to catch people in submissions and stuff like that. Actually, I didn't even know about that.
Yeah,
So this is the first time I'm actually hearing about that.
I think they've only had 6 competitions. I think it's number 6 is the one that Robbie was on.
They have some dope
But
fighters
it's-
in there too, though.
Yeah.
Pretty good fighters.
Yeah, they do, man. They got a lot of the fighters that used to fight in the UFC that are there now. But it's literally a bowl. So like, instead of being an octagon with a fence, like, you can get pushed up onto the side of the bowl where now, and they were like, Robbie was talking about it, how, once you're up on the side of that bowl, like your whole like balance is set different. Like you really got to learn how to combat that, because once you get up on that side, like you were saying, being able to fucking take somebody's leg out, you know what I mean? Because you're having to lean forward since you're on the side of that wall.
Yeah.
You gotta learn how to use it to your advantage.
Yeah.
I'd love to experience that. I ain't never been in that situation. I would love to try that.
It's cool looking, bro, for sure. And Robbie's got his own gym here in Cincinnati, so I'm not sure. I saw him performing with inside a bowl. I don't know if they set one up in his gym, but he definitely has one around here somewhere. But if you don't know who Robbie Maloff is, man, you should definitely tap into him, because he's in the same realm, MMA, fighting to pay the bills, bro.
Yeah, no, I'll check him out. Because like I said, right now I'm more of like training on my own. Like I coach wrestling, so I'm definitely conditioning with them and wrestling every day just to make sure I stay in shape.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, if I go pro, like I'm not stupid. I want to actually train with some professionals for about 4 or 5 months before I take my first professional fight.
For sure.
That's just a smart idea. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Because once you go pro, you know, you can get elbowed, you can get kicked in the face. That becomes a whole different ball game once you go pro. So once I go pro, I definitely, well, if I make it pro, I'll make sure I get to a gym and actually like train with professional fighters for about 3 to 5 months before I even take a first professional fight.
Oh yeah.
And that's just smart. You know what I mean? Like amateur, I feel like you can get away with things that you can't get away with once you actually make it to the professional level. So.
Yeah, the stuff that you get away with on the amateur level is definitely not probably even half what you're getting away with on the pro level. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. Like I said, once elbows and face kicks come involved, it's a whole different ball game. Nobody really, like, if you think you don't want to get hit in the face by a fist, you do not want to get caught in the face
with an
by
elbow
or a kick.
That's the truth, bro.
Because on some funny thing, like, he knows. There's a video when I was like 19 where because we used to do all kinds of like backyard MMA fighting. We used to host it in the north end in Hamilton, Ohio, and cops would literally come watch us and sit at the top of the hill, and they wouldn't even stop it. Like, because we had it regulated. Nobody was getting hurt. We had a big circle, and me and this guy went at it one time, and I've never done this in my life, but I roundhouse kicked him right in his chin.
Oh,
like,
shit.
It was the craziest thing ever. I didn't even know I could do it. I just was like, you know what, we're going to try it because he keeps his hands down, and I faked like I was going to go low and went right to his chin, and then went right across his chin. I was like, dang, I didn't even know I could do that. But the point is, once you go pro, it's like, I don't want that to happen to me. So
right.
I want to get in there with guys that, like kickboxers, because I don't necessarily know how to kickbox. So I want to spar with kickboxers, like throw kicks at me, teach me how to block it, teach me what I should do, teach me what I should be looking for. You know what I mean? If he's even going to throw a kick, show me how he's going to move so I just know. You know what I mean? Like I said, I ain't stupid. If I make it pro, I'm not looking to lose.
For sure.
Win. You know what I mean? So I'd go train with people before I even take my first pro fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I feel like if I make it pro, they'll be like, hey, you want this fight in a month? I'll be like, no. You got to give me about 3 or 4 months, and then I'll hit you guys back up.
Right. Yeah, for sure,
that's just
man.
being realistic. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to take a first pro fight.
I mean, you see it all. You see it all the time in the UFC, bro. Someone gets a cut on their eye, so they can't fight, and then 2 weeks, 2 weeks before the fight, they throw somebody else in, and he just gets fucking pummeled, bro. Because even though you're a fighter, like, you've got to train for that shit, man. Definitely. You know what I mean? Like 3 minutes in a ring feels like fucking 30 minutes, bro. It's so long. Yeah.
Yes.
An eternity.
Yeah.
30 minutes.
That's why you see them motherfuckers look up at the clock like, damn, it ain't been 3 minutes yet.
Hey, nah,
yeah, nothing
real.
Slower than a wrestling match that you're not winning.
In my first match back, when I was on top of dude, I look at the clock. I'm like, bro, it's only been 1 minute. I feel like I've been in here for like an hour.
Yeah, bro.
especially when it's your first fight back. I was definitely nervous.
Mm.
But you're nervous going into any fight. Because realistically, anything can happen. You can get clocked.
For sure.
That's the one thing I'll say about myself. Like, I don't feel like I'm like the best or nothing like that. I just feel like I'm decent and I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to stay away from them haymakers. Like I said, I know the dude wants to stand up, so I want to stay away from that. If I know you want to stand up, why would I stand up with you? That's just putting me at the risk of getting popped. If you want to wrestle, well, I want to wrestle with you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm confident in my wrestling, but if I know you don't want to stand up, then the goal is just to keep you standing up. I know you don't want to throw hands.
Oh, yeah.
It's the reverse of whatever the other person wants to do.
Yeah.
Always have a game plan. Just play it smart.
Reading the room.
Reading the room, exactly.
Yeah.
Just like when I used to wrestle back in the day. Like, if I knew the dude didn't want to be in situations where he can get thrown, I'm trying to throw you. Yeah. If I knew the dude didn't want to, like, if I knew the dude he was weak to, like, sweep singles, then I'm going to sweep single you. You know what I mean? It's
that's
just
what I did.
The weak point is,
that's what I did. I was very strategic too, man. I mean, I would lock up, and as soon as I see him try to wiggle backwards, I'm like, oh, he don't want to be thrown. I'm gonna make my way there halfway through the second because I need to wear him down, him get comfortable, And I would plan for the second period every time because I knew the first one I'd fill him out. The second one, a lot of my pins came from the second just because I was ready to go. Don't need to go to the third. We don't need reason for that. But, like, once I feel like he doesn't want to be thrown, I got those throws in, bro. I got the hip tosses because there was, like, a few wrestlers on Ryle's team that love to throw. And when you're with them every single day, like, and they're throwing all day long, I know what to look for. I know how to do it. You know, like, I defended myself at a party from throwing someone once, bro. Actually threw him through a glass table.
You got a favorite match?
Favorite match?
Favorite match that you won?
Favorite match that I won? You know, there is one, you know, Ryle Conference.
That's Ohio Sinatra right there, outside the glass. That's Ohio Sinatra? The guy we're interviewing? Yeah, the rapper.
Yeah. So... Yeah, I would say the favorite match, conference at Ryle was a big deal just because it was my opportunity. It was a chance to show the conference that I had arrived when I first got varsity, and I was really big on sweeps. So I got his leg up, and I had him like, he tried to be like fancy with it, and he tried to roll out of it, and I pushed him forward right into a stack. So basically, like, he tried to, like, flip out of it, right? And he thought he was going to flip over. I was like, well, I'm going to just follow you, buddy. And, like, when you flip, you roll. And he rolled under, and I put his leg on top of him and stacked him and pin. Like, almost immediately. It was amazing. It was pretty great. It was at conference in front of everybody. I was like, they didn't see that out of Eisler at the time. They were just, I was new on varsity, so it was my opportunity. And I stacked a boy. And I'm sure he remembers that, too. He thought he was going to be slick. I saw him, like, getting ready to get out of that single leg, and he does. That was pretty fun.
Nah, yeah. So I got two. I definitely, the year I lost all that weight, once I got all my energy back, we went to this tournament called The Pit. It was the first year we went. It's like way out in Dayton. It's a tough tournament. I had to wrestle this kid that was 18-0 in the second round.
Okay.
And I gave him his first loss, and it was the home school, so he was from the school that we was wrestling in this tournament. So everybody in the crowd, there was a lot of people that was there to watch him because he was like the best wrestler on the team, and we watched him wrestle. So I knew what he got. I knew he wants to blast double, and he beats everybody quick. Like he never goes out of the first round. That's how good he was. Okay. I always go like 6-7 periods, so I'm used to it. You know what I mean? Dude takes me down at the beginning. He does get his little blast double off. Like I said, I'm a real. I never lie about nothing.
Yeah,
so
cool. Yeah.
He gets his blast double off at the beginning. I knew it was coming, but it was a lot faster than I thought. He didn't take me down the rest of the time. Once that happened, I was like, okay, I got you now. And me and him went to overtime. So when he got to OT, like I said, he ain't used to being out of the first period. So when we went into overtime, dude's literally like, he can barely stand up. So as soon as the ref said go, he just tried to shoot it in with his hands up, and I pancaked him right to his back. And it was his only loss of the year until he made it to state. Only loss of the whole year.
He was 18-0 at that point.
Look, I put it like this. That memory was so bad for him, the next year, he asked my buddies when they went back, is your 215 still there? But I graduated. That's how bad that loss stuck in his head.
That's hilarious,
and
dude.
Then at the Coach's Classic, did you ever hear of that? Because Ryle was at the Coach's Classic.
Yeah, I know the Coach's Classic.
So I lost this kid from Elder, but that was like right when I came off losing all that weight. So I won my first 3 matches at Coach's, and then I lost my next 3 matches the next day because I was like completely drained. When I went to wrestle that first dude in the semifinals, I was so tired. And dude just like tilted me to death. I didn't know what to do about it back then, so he tech vaulted me and pinned me. We wrestled again in the first round of districts, and I beat him. So I got my revenge. And then I went right to the district finals. State qualifier. So it was a nice feeling. Well, he was really good on top. So what we did was, I was like, I'll give up my point because I know that outside of the top position, he ain't got nothing. Okay. So I just was all over him.
Give him a point to avoid the 2.
The ref just kept.
Yeah.
He just kept stalling. I beat him 2-1 in the first round. Oh, his coach was so mad. He was going off on him like, oh, you just beat this dude like by 16
God,
and
this-
pending. I was like, yeah, but y'all don't know I just lost 65 pounds about 2 weeks ago. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you don't know what I'm carrying with here.
Yeah, like what I had to go through the first time me and you wrestled. Nah, that by the time we wrestled again, I was all the way back ready to go. So, yeah, I definitely got him that time.
Anyone knows how to do tilt game, that's a powerful wrestler. If you know tilt game, if you can tilt, you can gain up serious points, bro. That's a challenge. I mean, I got it to a degree, but I wasn't big on tilting. When I would get down, I'd ball and chain. I threw legs in a lot. I was
Right.
definitely. I mean, because we're small guys, so everyone's throwing legs in.
Oh.
You have to if you're under like 112, 119, 103, they're all throwing legs in, so you have to as well.
I
But
tried to throw a leg in once. My coach said, never do that again. 'Cause it didn't- like, I didn't fall out of position or nothing. Like, I was cool, but he was just like, that just don't even look right when you're trying to do it. Because I just never done it before.
Yeah,
It was just
yeah.
one time. I just tried to throw him in, and I actually turned the guy, but he was like, yeah, don't ever do that again. And he was like, that just didn't look good. I was like, all right, I got you. Never tried it again. But my daughter, so she's in 7th grade. It's her first year. She's actually doing really well. We're going to do a lot of over the summer stuff. She's definitely going to learn how to ride legs. Because being 134 and she's like going to be taller than everybody she wrestles, lengthier.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I was like, if you learn how to ride legs, you're going to
You're
dominate
good.
everybody.
Yeah.
They're never going to want you to be on top of them.
Right.
That's
yeah,
a
they're
fact.
gonna. Yeah, they don't. Riding legs is if you know how to do that, you will win most of your matches if you get to the floor. Because like when you can ride legs, basically you throw the legs in. That's riding legs is like I'm behind the person's behind me and their legs go inside my legs and then they have to escape that.
Yeah.
And then you can choke
And you
them
just
up.
drag them down.
Pretty much, if you don't catch that foot before it goes in, it's extremely hard to get out of it.
It's
Yeah.
over. I mean, you could literally end the match there. And I got pretty good at it because, I mean, you have to. Wrestling is survival. You figure out the way that it works and you go. You know what I mean? I mean, I tried to brute force, but there was a guy that was stronger than me, so I was like, I can't do that. You know what I mean? So, like, at practice, I couldn't do that.
Right.
Even at practice. And I got good because the state champ, multiple state champ, Kyle, Rochelle, the coach's son, he just beat up on me freshman year. He beat up all on the 103s. So when you get beat up on early, now you know what to look for. And now no one else is beating you as hard as he's whooping you at, like, because he's a state champ. He's crushing you. You know what I'm
But it
saying?
makes you better.
Makes you better. And
It's all about the drill partner. You got to have
Yep.
a drill partner or you're never going to get better.
That's
Like,
what I had, yeah.
A perfect example is my senior year, junior year, me and I was a 2 of the team. My buddy Terrion Jackson was the heavyweight. We both made it to state. We're both going at it every day at practice. You know, hard. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I graduate the next year. He don't make it back to state. He don't have that partner no more like me. He has partners, but they're not pushing him to the point that they need to push you to in the room to get you to the next level. So he literally didn't even make it to state his senior year, and there was no reason he shouldn't have. But it was just, like I said, the most important thing is a good practice partner. Because if you're just whooping on somebody every day, you're not getting better.
Yeah.
You need somebody. You guys got to be going back and forth.
Yeah.
Like I don't ever want to wrestle somebody that if I'm just dominating you, like I need another partner.
So did you ever
know
do
what I mean?
wrestle-offs? Like wrestle-offs, because that was a big part of it. We had a lot of people on our teams that was wrestle-offs, and that was kind of intense because your partners became your wrestle-off competitors, so that you're competing for one position because wrestling doesn't work like other sports where everyone gets a chance. You got one weight class each time, and you have to fill that slot, so...
So it's crazy how that ended up working. My 9th grade year, I've never lost a wrestle-off. Never. My 9th grade year, I beat like all these seniors they try to bring in from the football team, all these guys that was like big, stocky dudes, but they ain't never wrestled before. I've been wrestling since 7th grade, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So, like I said, muscle don't bother me. Because one, I know that you ain't gonna survive that long if you got that much muscle. You're gonna be tired really quick, you know what I mean? So I would beat these guys in wrestle-offs, and I feel like my coach didn't think that was gonna happen. He thought these guys was gonna get me. So he would still let them go varsity, and I would go to freshman tournaments. But I never lost a wrestle-off. He would always send me to the important freshman tournaments, though. If it was a varsity match and we didn't have nothing to do, I won. So he would take me. But let's say if we had like an important freshman tournament, he would definitely use that opportunity to let them seniors get them varsity matches, and I'd go to the freshman tournaments. But
probably dominate the freshman
never.
tournament.
Yeah. The Centerville. You ever heard of the Centerville one? The Centerville Classic. Freshman year, it's like the biggest. Well, it's not that big now, but when I was in a freshman, it was a
Centerville.
huge tournament. I got second.
GMVWA, Western Brown,
Yeah.
Western Brown Classic. Those are the ones Ohio that I remember.
I took second at the Centerville tournament, and my freshman year, I was just okay. I literally just head-armed everybody to the finals, and then in the finals, I tried that, and that dude was a lot better than that, so it didn't work.
Oh,
Like I said, I'm real, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I tried to throw him, and he was like, look, I'm not going for that, on top of the fact that I've watched every match that you've done today, so I knew that that's what you was going to try to do. So
Yeah. That's the
I
thing
didn't have
too,
much
to
in my
watch.
arsenal then, except just them throws, the freshman year, just coming off my 8th grade year, and then all I did was really throw, and then junior or senior year is when I changed all that. I throw, shoot, everything, you know what I mean?
Did you ever go to any wrestling camps like Concerto?
All right,
Anything like that?
so you know how they always say people might have like one regret when it comes to like things you might not have done back in the day?
Yeah.
They could never get me to do nothing over the summer. Once practice ended, like once the season ended, I said, you guys will see me on November 1st. You ain't gonna see me over the summer. I was just one of them dudes like, I want to have my friend time and all that. I've been dealing with all y'all for 4 months now, going crazy. They would always try to get me to come in the summer and do freestyle, Greco, and I was good at it, but I was just like, yeah, y'all ain't getting me in there in the summer. Y'all see me on November 1st when practice is back. I never wrestled over the summer. They never could get me to.
And look how far you still have come.
Yeah, that's my biggest regret. I just didn't get into the summer stuff. I wish I would have.
Yeah.
Like when I look back at it now, because like I said, I was good at throwing, so if I'd have done Greco, I'd have had success. The freestyle, when you're just like gut wrenching people and you're doing them like 360 turns to get them to turn, I was really good at that
learned,
stuff. They just couldn't get me in there in the summer. I was like, look, especially after cutting all that weight, I was like, nah, y'all think I want to see y'all again?
Well, I agree. I understand with you. Wrestling tournaments and stuff, wrestling summer camps kept me from band practice. So I'm right there with you. But I went because there are a lot of wrestlers around my world, and I was in there not by passion, but I'm athletic when it comes down to it. So I was able to fit in. I liked basketball more, but I didn't grow for that. So, but wrestling was I could control my own world, and I didn't have to worry about anyone else messing me up.
Right.
And I could figure out what they were doing, and I looked at the weaknesses, and I'm analytical, so like I looked at it and I attacked that, and a lot of times people just leave that foot out. So many people leave that foot out without even thinking about it because they're ready to pounce. But that foot, before they pounce, I pounce at that ankle. And if I get that ankle, no one wants their ankle in the air. That's when they try to flip and do all sorts of fancy shit, and then you have to be ready for it. But a lot of people tried to also like shoot at me, and I'm also a defensive wrestler as well, actually, because I waited for my chance. So they try to shoot at me, and I've pancaked as well. That's fun. There's a good feeling about pancaking someone.
It is.
I don't know what about it, because it's so quick, but
You know it's over.
what?
You know it's over when you pancake somebody.
Yeah, you
Because
do
they
it.
ain't getting enough
No,
of that.
no, they're
they
not.
definitely ain't getting away
And
with
they're
that.
embarrassed, bro. And they're not feeling they're feeling some type of way.
Yeah, and then out of my 6 years, I only really wrestled 3. That's another regret of mine. Like with not doing the summer stuff, like I qualified for state, and I realistically only wrestled for 3 years. I'm like, man, if I would have just been more serious. So like 7th grade year, I was ineligible. I didn't even get a chance to wrestle at all. 8th grade year, I wrestled the whole season. 9th grade year, wrestled the first half and eligible the second half. 10th grade year, wrestled the first half and eligible the second half. Junior and senior year, finally got my stuff together. Made it the whole year. My junior year at heavyweight, I had a pulled hamstring and was a match away from state. Like on a pulled hamstring wrestling heavyweight guys. And then my senior year, I make it to state. So realistically, I wrestled 3 full seasons and was a state qualifier.
Which is one of the hardest states in the country to
Right,
wrestle in. Yeah.
and so my thing be, when I look back on it, I just be like, I wish somebody would have told me, like, take your freshman year more seriously. 7th and 8th grade, I'm not necessarily as mad about, but my freshman year, I didn't take that as seriously. So when I ended up going to college to wrestle, I had to, like, redshirt my first year because my grades was, like, really bad.
Where'd you go to
freshman year.
college for wrestling?
William Penn University in Oskaloosa, Iowa.
Iowa.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I said, just my freshman year, I came out with a really bad GPA, but nobody told me that your freshman year is really your most important year of high school, because whatever you come out with your freshman year if you just don't completely just dog school your sophomore, junior, senior year, whatever your GPA is, your freshman year, that's what your GPA is going to be when you graduate. You come out with a 3.2, you would literally have to get all Fs to mess that up. You know what I mean? It's going to be pretty much a 3.2 to a 3.5 by the time you graduate. Like, I came out with like a low GPA my freshman year, and I had to literally work back up just to a 2.0. So when I went to college, I had like a 1.99, and that's what made me have to redshirt my first year, which
ineligible, right?
Which kind of killed it for me. So like in college is a little different. So I wasn't ineligible, but I couldn't wrestle for the team. So if I went to a tournament, I had to wear my own singlet. I had to register just myself, not for the school. And it was cool, but I didn't get to wrestle that much, so it kind of like it killed it for me. You know what I mean? I went to my first year of college, and I was just like, yeah, it's not for me. But I knew I really didn't want to be in school anyways. But I feel like I'd have dealt with school if I'd have been eligible and been able to wrestle in all the home duels.
Yeah, it would have changed your experience for sure.
Yeah, so sure. I think it really like got me just down in the dumps when I was just redshirted, and then I'd watch the heavyweights lose in matches I definitely know that I would have won. And it's just I don't know, it killed it.
Yeah,
I knew I didn't want to be in school, but like I said, if I'd have been eligible and I'd have been just like in the lineup already, I'd have been all right. Because when I went to college, the only guy who could beat me was injured. So I would have got the varsity spot. We had like 6 heavyweights, and I could beat 5 of them. And the only one I couldn't beat, well, he was hurt. So I didn't have to worry about him. You know what I mean? Yeah. So at least, and he was graduating.
Oh.
So I would have got to wrestle varsity my freshman year, and then he was going to be gone. And then I would just had to worry about like new recruits if they would have brought in anybody else.
You just use experience on them at that point.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's fascinating. So that's the stuff I think. That's what makes you put you here now. It makes you work harder for the current. I feel if I had to assess, because like that, those regrets as you speak on those the past, you would know all that stuff now. Going to being a coach, you know what to tell the youngins.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying. You know where your head's at to try to make a buck or two on your own merit and your own talent.
Right.
And you know you can also tell your story on something like a podcast like this, like you just did. And going forward, teach others, man. It's just as much being taught teaching as it's much being taught when you're younger. You know what I mean? Like you already went through that, so you can help a young dude be like, hey, bro, you need to focus at that freshman year because that is what shapes everything going forward. And it really does. They don't tell you how important freshman year is at college or high school. They just kind of like let you do the thing and then you have to figure it out. But if they told you how important that first year is, especially college, because if you screw college up first year, dude, you can't. It's hard to recover.
You're playing catch up.
You're playing catch up. You're not only playing catch up. You're paying to play catch up. You're paying to lose, in some cases. And the professors don't give a shit, bro. You're just a number at some colleges, you know. And that it's an uphill battle. I was one that rebounded. I went from a 2.5 to over. Like I got to the 3 situation because not quite a 3.5, but I was up there because I got into a major that I really started to vibe with. I went from journalism, which I felt was forced, even though I was good at writing. I just didn't want to pry into people's lives on things I didn't care about. I don't care about politics like that, but that's what they wanted you to care about. I wanted music, so I found my way. I made my way to communications, and everything there was do what you want, just research methods. I'm like, this is how people think, how they communicate interpersonally. I'm like, oh, this is easy. A's across the board. I never looked back.
And you said you used to be in band?
I was a musician. I was a musician in bands, not marching band, like bands in the garage / basement / try to tour.
So from my 4th grade until senior, I was in marching band. I played the alto saxophone. My 9th and 10th grade. So no, hold on, my bad. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. The reason I stopped is because my 9th and 10th grade year, it got me ineligible for wrestling. Band was the reason I was ineligible for wrestling.
What?
Because my teacher was so on, you're not skipping these pep band rallies, like the basketball game ones. So, like, I would choose to go to wrestling over that because I needed to be practicing every day. She gave me an F.
Oh.
Damn.
9th and 10th grade year, band was the reason I was ineligible.
That is crazy.
The craziest thing ever.
It's wild that I just brought that up.
And I played an orchestra. So from 4th until senior, I played a viola.
Oh, some musical talent
That's
in there.
dope.
Yeah, I loved my viola, and my teacher in high school, when it came to that, he got along with my wrestling coach. So anything was worked out. If I had to be at practice, he'd be at practice. If I needed to go to this orchestra thing, I'd be there. You know what I mean? I don't know. It was easier with him than with my band teacher. She wasn't about
So
it.
who'd you sit at lunch with? I gotta ask that question. Who were you sitting at lunch with in high school? The wrestlers, the orchestra, the
I can
band
tell you
guys?
too, I was probably by myself. That's
By
just how
yourself?
it
Okay,
was, you know what
coach's
I mean?
office,
I mean,
maybe?
so wrestlers probably come sit with me, band people come sit with me, but I'm not like a person that would go sit with people.
Okay.
Like I'm like, man, that table's by itself. I just want to
Gotcha.
cool,
Okay, I
just
see.
be by myself. You know what I mean?
I sat with the musicians, but my friends were musicians and the wrestlers. And one time, the wrestler, Mike, got in a fight with one of the band, my friends, and I was in the middle of it because they're both my people. Like they both love me, and I was like, oh no, I don't. But the wrestler, I mean, Mike crushed Alex, but it didn't matter. They went head to head heavy right outside the at lunch. And I was so caught in the middle because they're both like close to me. It was like close. Like I'm on the wrestling team with one guy, get up at 5 a.m. with him, and the other one I'm in band practice with him. Oh, it was rough, dude. It was a rough day.
I don't think I can ever say that one. I don't think anybody from the band was really around wrestlers too much. Like I'm saying in my school.
Yeah. They Alex just had a sharp tongue, bro, and Mike had a short fuse. And when those two collided, oh, I was stuck in the middle. And they're like, "Those are both your friends, bro." I'm like, "I can't help them. I'm not gonna." But Mike just whooped him so fast. The wrestler took the band guy out. So, principal and everyone broke it up and everything. But it made us all. The wrestlers made us look so bad.
Look,
One fight makes you look so bad.
If I got two of my friends fighting, I'm like, look, I ain't in the middle of it.
That's what I said.
I gotta figure that out.
Right, I was trying to play Switzerland.
Yeah. All right, man. So let me ask you something. I've been staring at this Kid Vision's Wu-Tang shirt for a while, bro. And did you do that by hand?
No, I got somebody that creates my shirts for me.
Dope, bro.
That's something I came up with the basically the design of it with the blood or whatever, using the Wu-Tang sign. I've seen a lot of people use it. See you guys over here at Native use it, and it's definitely dope, man. I got to go see Ghostface last year.
He's the shit, bro.
Yeah, so I got to go see him, and I thought it was dope, and that's what I started off with, was that logo, and then I wanted to have something more original with my own. So
For sure.
because that's what everybody was telling me. It was like every time I see your logo, I just see Wu-Tang, and I don't see what it is that you actually do.
Right,
so,
right.
So I created my own logo now. I got the Kid Visions Media win with me with the camera on it. So it's I love the shirt though.
I love that shirt, bro. I love the design. I really love the printing on it because you know it looks like it was here. Let me there we go. It looks like it was painted on there, not done with silkscreen, not done with DTG. It actually looks like you took the time and used paint and painted
Yes,
that
sir.
motherfucker. So
yeah, and the lady that I have that does my shirt, she's created them for me the whole time. Anytime that I ever need any shirts, and she's the best. Anytime I call her with anything, if she don't have it, she figures it out. So
I love that, bro.
shout
That's
out to
super
her.
dope. Hell yeah. All right, man. Well, is there anything else that you guys want to get out there? Is there any social media that you want people to know about so they can tap in on Saturday to see your victory?
Oh, just Facebook.
Facebook?
That's really all I'm on.
So Anthony Ralston.
Anthony Ralston, yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and then I'll have it posted on the Kid Visions media page. I do. I'm also his coach too. So when we get there, I'll be coaching him, and whenever the fight's getting ready to happen, I'll have it posted on my page as well. It'll also be on Instagram.
And what is that social media handle again?
Kid Visions.
Spell it out.
So KIDDVIZIONS on Facebook, and then
2 Ds.
Yeah, yep, KIDD, yep.
VIZIONS.
Yep. And that'll be on my Facebook and also on my Instagram page as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've been seeing a lot of your content and everything that you're posting. Obviously, we work with you with Beyond the Stage, and we're covering events this year, like, going to be like crazy. We're going to be getting you out in the field. But just in general, as you move through social media and this era that you're in, and this dynamic that you're bringing, that you know, there's a lot of content creators out there, but it's really about how you fit in those cracks and find your place.
Right.
And I think you're doing a great job, and I'm excited to see what you bring out in 2026. And we'll be creating some stuff ourselves together. But just as you navigate as a content creator, I hope for the best for you, bro. I really think you got something there. Just be patient with it.
Yes,
it's not going to happen overnight. You know what I mean?
Sir.
It's going to take time. We got to put the blood, sweat, and tears in, and a little bit of elbow grease with it, because you got to think on it. It's not just paving the pavement. You have to come up creatively, as you know. And that takes time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
But yeah, man, appreciate you for being on the podcast. And Anthony, appreciate you, man. Great talking wrestling. I don't get to talk wrestling much. I'm a black belt in Taekwondo, and I quit Taekwondo to join the wrestling team. I did the summer camps prior. I started in the 8th grade wrestling.
Right.
But I quit Taekwondo in the 8th grade because I joined wrestling. And one wrestling practice was harder than anything I did in Taekwondo up until that point. But I got a black belt, respected, sure, but in sparring and whatnot. But wrestling, after that, every sparring match was so much easier. After one wrestling practice, it took one. I was like, this is not the same. It's not the same. These guys are not the same. And then I fit in, and then I didn't like it. I liked music more, but it allowed me to be my size and my physicalness. And I'm a competitive guy in its own right. I'm not here to take everyone down. I just want to win one-on-one within myself, essentially. Right. And but yeah, like wrestling was fun. And once I learned how to throw legs in, and I rode and all that, I was like, this is cool. You can be a monkey and win. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it was a cool thing.
There ain't no sport like it.
Nothing like it, man. And it's the hardest thing I think I've ever done in my whole life. I pretty much say that on record. It's the hardest thing. Anything. I'm a father now. You know, she's 6, and I've been through a lot of trials there. Nothing has been harder than high school wrestling and everything that puts you through to prepare for college, because they were trying to get us ready for college wrestling, but I was not going that way. But I was ready for music. But yeah, but it's just like, appreciate you being on here, and this fight this Saturday, the 24th at MEGA CORP. Go kill it, bro. You got it, bro.
Yeah, man. Good luck to you, bro. I'm gonna make sure that we're able to get out there. You're not able to film it, right?
Nah.
You're gonna try to get some highlight reels in there and put them up.
So I worked my way around the last time. The way I did it, I don't think I'm allowed to do it that way. I bought the pay-per-view, screen recorded it off my phone, chopped up my own highlight reel, stuff like that. So
Hustler, let's go,
yeah,
bro.
I don't know if I'll be able to do it that way. Most likely I'm gonna try. If I can get it live for people on Facebook, I'm gonna try everything I can. But I gotta also be focused on keeping him locked in.
Oh yeah.
I mean, one of the things that me and him I've always talked about is like when they put 2 people in the cage, it's like basically putting 2 pit bulls in there. You know what I'm saying? And it's either his family's gonna eat or your family's gonna eat. Yep. And those are my nieces and nephews, so they gotta eat.
Let's go, bro.
So he's gotta go. So I think he's got his head on right. I think he's ready to go. So it's gonna be a blast.
That's
I'm definitely
awesome,
ready.
Man. There he is, John G in the building.
What's up, my boy?
All right, man. So at everyone that's tuning in right now, Chris Customs, I appreciate you. We will be back in about 10 minutes with another guest. We're doubling up on the podcast today. So we're just finishing up with Anthony Ralston. He's got a fight down at MEGA CORP this Saturday, and then we will be back in about 10 minutes with, that's my bad. We'll be back in about 10 minutes with Ohio Sinatra. He's a music artist from, I think, Columbus, man. He actually rented a hotel last night. He's been in town, and he's getting ready to do his damn thing.
That's New York vibes.
All right, everybody. Dude, AJ, good luck this weekend, man. I know you're going to crush it. We're going to have another podcast, a little victory podcast when you finish this dude off, man.
I'll get this dub. We'll come back.
Let's go. All right, everybody. I appreciate you guys. We'll see you in about 10 minutes. And if not, we'll see you down here at the store. We love you guys. Peace out.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
Are you